against the British Medical Journal, which published lies about him, and journalist Brian Deere, who authored many of those lies. What other choice do you have when they just try to mock you for pointing out that these vaccines are hurting people? It's a lot more than just his name at stake. These are actual, real children being affected. And in fact, when we go to break coming up, we're going to play an interview Alex did with one autistic child. His father said that the autism came up after the second round of shots. I don't recall which one, but it's in the clip. That's coming up later. But just so many children it's affected. There's obviously something going on, and Wakefield is a respectable guy. He's been doing real research. It's a shame that they attack him. In other news, South Carolina officials are investigating 900 dead voters who were found to vote in recent elections. Director Schfado's research has revealed evidence that over 900 deceased people appeared to have voted, quote-unquote, in recent elections in South Carolina. Said a statement Wednesday, an alarming number clearly necessitates an investigation into potential criminal activity. Of course, it's nothing new. They've been stuffing ballot boxes and putting dead people's names on voter registers for a long time, but it's just a reminder that so-called elections have never been fair and free. They've always been controlled by the system. In many cases, different criminal factions stealing elections against each other. So how would an honest person come up? Now, meanwhile, we have video from New Hampshire in the primary where one person did an investigation where they went to the ballots and used dead people's name, and they were given ballots. They didn't actually vote, but we're going to show part of that clip now where they demonstrate how they were allowed to vote with dead people's names in New Hampshire just the other day during the primary.
Democratic ballot. There you go, Mr.
Now, I'll tell you what, I've left my
And there you
ID
can see
in
the
the car.
birth date and the death date of the name that they're using.
I don't need it. I'll go and get it anyway if you don't mind. I prefer to. I don't need registration. I don't need identification.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you just have to. Yeah, as long as you're on our registered voter list, you're allowed to vote.
I can just vote, that's okay.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll get my ID anyway. But thank you very much. See you shortly. Bye-bye.
Here we are, George F. at St. James Place.
That's the address.
Okay, and you're a registered Democrat.
That's the registration.
Okay, so here's the Democratic ballot, and the pens are in the booth.
But I haven't got my ID with me, my identification.
You don't have to. In the state of New Hampshire, they don't require it.
All right. There's no way of checking who's voting.
If somebody else came in and said they were George Darcy, we wouldn't let them vote because we've now checked off George Darcy.
Okay.
And that's the only check there is
All
in the
right.
system.
I got some ID anyway.
Oh, you
I wrote it.
you have to vote. You can vote.
It's okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
You have a Thomas McCarran?
Okay, Thomas. Take one of these chips. Go
And this video goes on and on. It's over 10 minutes long. You could debate if it's a good idea to require identification when voting, but obviously it can play into the hands of voter fraud. They can obviously use black box voting machines as well. Now, I said it was a struggle for reality. That's because we've obviously been following the corporate prostitute media's ongoing attacks against Ron Paul, including the very popular meme that he can't win, that he's not a real candidate. So tonight we're going to award the first ever prostitute media award, and it goes to Lawrence O'Donnell of MSNBC, an avowed socialist, I believe. I don't want to totally quote myself on that, but I remember seeing him talking about some of his extreme views, but of course he defines reality for us. Let's go to that clip now.
Romney, the projected winner tonight in New Hampshire. Ron Paul, the projected second-place finisher right now with 14% of the vote in.
Then you have to look at the fraud in the campaign, the Republican fraud, which is the libertarian Ron Paul, who is not a candidate for president. He is not going to get the nomination. He is not going to be given the prominent speaking role at a Republican convention. They can't have a guy up there saying what he says. He is in there to push his ideas and for whatever individual reasons he has. So if you take Ron Paul out of this, and if you take out all those independent voters who went out there today for Ron Paul, what would have happened to Huntsman? Huntsman is the real second here. He came in the real second. He came in the real second. Came in the real second. He came in strong.
Yeah, Huntsman's the real winner, a guy who had no pulse in polls for months, and then he was propped up by the establishment after so many other candidates fell off the wagon. It's amazing how many media personalities tell us they can predict the future and really have such contempt for voters.